All right, here's another update. So you remember the two New York City police officers who were assaulted and was caught on videotape, so they did it on November 13th, 2023, 18 months ago. There's the assault, okay? Two men were charged with a felony assault in the second degree. Today they were in court. Their case was adjourned for the 19th time. 19th time by DA Darcel Clark, okay? That means they're out on the street till September 3rd. This is coming up on 2 years now. They will not put these thugs in court, the Bronx. And they wonder why crime is out of control in that very poor part of New York City. 19 times. 19 times. The case has been adjourned. This is not the justice system. This is a collapse. Here might be worse. We called the cop unions and the people who are supposed to be defending the New York City police 17 times. They refused to come on the program. We called the Police Benevolent Association, Police Conference of New York, the Fraternal Order of Police, on and on and on and on. No, won't defend their own police. Because in New York City, very few people know about this. Don't even know it. Joining us now is retired New York City police detective, Bo Dietl. You know him. He's a movie star now. He's in Godfather of Harlem. He played Genovese. Is that who you're playing now? You're some mob guy?
Tommy Gambino.
Gambino. Genovese, Gambino.
No. Tommy Lucchese. You got me wrong. I don't even know who I'm playing anymore.
You don't even know. All right,
Lucchese.
so you're Lucchese. All right. But in your real life, you're Bo Dietl, who had a very distinguished career in the NYPD, as did my grandfather. I'm so outraged about this. I tell you how, I can't get any angrier. Can you explain this to me?
It's just part of the pattern, Bill, that has happened. This is the George Floyd effect, on and on with the demonstrations. Since 2020, when these pieces of garbage were able to demonstrate, burn, assault, some murders involved, the prosecution, everyone turned against the police. Defund the police, defund the police. Now you have in New York State, because we have to start with the state, you have an assembly and you have a Senate that will not pass any kind of bills in support of the police. Then you have a city council here that has taken away every aspect of what the police officers can do. Now they also have this diaphragm law. When you're fighting with someone, if you get them into a headlock, that's illegal. Immediately when a cop gets someone in a headlock or gets on top of them, they file a suit against them. The charges are dropped. They testify against the cop. Then you got district attorneys, like you just pointed out with this case. These officers were beat pretty bad. There were stitches involved and everything. That's why it's assault to a felony. And I'm outraged, Bill, listening to what you just said, that this is put off. That's the DAs and the damn judges. When they put these liberal judges in there, I mean, a judge is supposed to make a judgment call. When you got animals like this, if they're going to assault a police officer the way they did, imagine what they'll do to a regular person. You
Sure.
and me are children on the streets.
Right. These people are career criminals anyway, and they know that, and they put them back on the street. But in order to counter this, Bo, you would have to have an organized police presence with demonstrations, with signs, with pressure, with the media, and you don't have anything. Not one word. They have turned us down on every request to come in and condemn this whole case. They will not do it. Do you know why?
No, I don't know why, but I'm going to tell you something. I was with Kaz Daughtry, the deputy mayor of public safety, last night. I had dinner up in Campianolas with him, and we had dinner. And this is one of the issues that he told me he wanted me to get back on. And I promise you one thing. I told him I was going to be on your show, and I said, I want answers. Why? Now, when you go to the unions, you have a PBA, you have a DEA. I'm still a member of the DEA, but I'm going to reach out to the president of the PBA, and you are exactly right. There should be demonstrations going on in front of that DA's office in the Bronx. This is an outrage. And I'm really, really side with you on this one, Bill.
All right.
That's where I came from.
But now it's not, it's a moral outrage. It's just wrong. It's indefensible. But there's more than that. It demoralizes every single police officer in the city because they know they could be beaten, they could be next. And nothing is going to happen to them because of the Darcel Clarks of the world, but their own people aren't defending them. How can you ask people to put their lives on the line every day in a dangerous city like New York when they know nobody's got their back?
That's why, Bill, more police officers in New York City are retiring than ever before. They can't recruit people to come on to the New York City Police Department. And a lot of people don't know, if they're doing their jobs completely legally, they still could be sued civilly. That's like the poor cop that has a little house out in Levittown paying his mortgage or her mortgage. And next thing is they get sued civilly and they take his house or her house away. And right now, what's going on, they cannot bring people on the police department. And they're lowering their standards, Bill. This is a craziness. Then we got some fool running for mayor that wants to defund the police department.
Okay.
And he's getting more votes than anybody.
For our audience who doesn't live in New York City and doesn't really know how intense it is, describe when you were on the job, okay, and then now. How big a difference?
Well, we had tremendous support. We had tremendous support from our unions, even the higher echelon of the police department. I was very active. I made over 1,500 felonies. I was a decoy cop. 500 times I was mugged, hospitalized 30 times, stabbed, shot, and all that. When I got in a fight with somebody and I had to do necessary force, let's not call it a beating. Let's call it necessary force. I'm fighting so you don't get my gun. I punched him. I hit him with the hand radio. I did whatever I had to do to get him or her, not too many hers, but definitely get him restrained. And you know what? I said what I did and why I did it, and I was supported. I was the recipient of 40 civilian complaints. I'm very proud of every one of them. And you know what? I was never founded on one of them because all I did was my job. And I told the truth, and that's it. I'm out there, and I'm with my partner. I'm fighting with a guy with a knife or a gun. I want to make sure my partner goes home safely, and I go home safely. And I did what I had to do, reasonable force. Today, now you got video cameras. What they do is after the cop gets punched, they take the video of the second part of the cop arresting him, not the original incident that occurred. And with the advent of these cell phones, that's a destruction to the police department also.
Could you do the job today? Because I know you love you love being a detective. I mean, you like the work and all of that. Could you do it today?
No, and I think I would actually maybe break my son's arm if he wanted to become a New York City cop. I would not let him. Nobody I love will I let come on the police department. It's a disgrace of what it's become, and I feel horrible. Now you have more than 55, 60% of the police department have under 5 years. That means you have inexperienced people out there that don't really want to do any kind of reaction. We used to go out there and we used to find a crime before these guys committed the crime. Find the bad guys. There's no proactivity with the police. Don't get involved. Drive by. I've seen them drive by many a times where they're not getting involved. Oh, crime is down because no one is reporting anything.
Forget quality of life. So if you're a drug addict and you're sitting in front of a school with a needle in your neck, cops aren't going to do anything to you.
No, and no, that's it. You can walk on the streets right now. I'm on Fifth Avenue, 42nd Street, right by Bryant Park for people around the country, the heart of New York City. You can walk out there anytime, and you have people there. You can't wear watches. You can't do this. Everyone's scared stiff. Forget about getting on a train. You know, you go on a train, you take your life in hand. My son, who's 30 years old, my son, Bo, he goes, Bo, Dad, you know what I do? I do no eye contact. He goes, if I do eye contact, I can get in a fight every 2 minutes with people.
Last question. When you don't have an effective justice system, which in New York City we do not, and you're right, It's the laws that Andrew Cuomo signed, Hochul, comes all the way down, okay? When you have a system that has collapsed, there is no protection for anybody. Wrong?
The worst thing in the world is the district attorney is supposed to be protecting those cops when they're doing their jobs. And when your district attorney, the prosecutor, don't support you, what the hell do police officers have? They have nothing. Then you got these judges, these liberal judges that don't care about the cops or don't care about the public. All they care about is the criminal element. This is what's wrong, Bill. And I tell you what, you talk about no spin zone. This is a spin into the toilet bowl for America across this country.
Yeah, it's happening
across the
not
country.
just in New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Baltimore, on and on. All right, Bo, you stay safe out there. And it's a good show, Godfather Harlem. I mean, it's one of the few that I actually watch.
Great.
And it's very
Tommy
amusing.
Lucchese. Tommy Lucchese.
You're playing a gangster when your whole life you're trying to put those guys away.
No. Bill, I grew up with John Gotti. I went one way, they went another way.
Yeah, but you didn't like John Gotti. So.
Well, no comment. All right.
I didn't like him. All right, Bo Dietl, everyone. There you go.